Our first week of postseason gameplay keeps chugging on here at the Shenandoah Esports Arena here live in Winchester, Virginia, March 27th, 2025, and we are live with our first Rocket League game of the week of the postseason here at Shenandoah as the Rocket League Shenandoah Hornets prepare to take on the University of South Carolina's Garnett team. Hi everybody, I'm Chris Clayton. This is Gavin Eldridge, a fresh face for those of you who have been following along our Rocket League season, as he's here to provide us with some Rocket League insight that is news to me, and because this is not my game either, but we're going to get through it. We're going to have a great time, and it's hopefully going to be a ton of fun, and as we sit here and hope for presumably a Shenandoah win.
Yeah, you know, like I'm kind of a new face now. I've been the Tekken caster, which is not very normal for me. You know, like, don't know that game too much. I know a little bit about this game, but all games kind of translate to each other. Like, it's pretty easy to talk over any of them, I feel like. So
that's fair. And you and I are sports guys, too, so we can talk Rocket League as much as possible. But we can take a quick look. This has been an exciting week here at Shenandoah. Why? Well, it's postseason. So we had Street Fighter on Monday, Tekken on Wednesday. Those are CFGC. Those are still just regular season. But on Tuesday, you saw our Varsity Super Smash Brothers team take a 2-0 commanding victory over Concord. So that brings us to today, Thursday, March 27th, and Varsity Rocket League taking on USC Garnett in NECC Playoffs, their Eastern Playoff bracket. First game, high expectations, ton of momentum for this team as we take a look at this bracket. There's that matchup right in the middle there, Shenandoah against USC. Shenandoah being the 2 seed, USC being the 7 seed. Stevenson up top there coming in as the 1 seed, the theoretical favorite. So keep an eye on all of the matches, and be sure to drop us a follow so you can follow along during this whole playoff push. But Shenandoah looking to start on the correct side of the win column here tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. And Shenandoah also, they have a busy week coming up, a busy weekend specifically, because that they are going to another LAN. And that will be very, very exciting for them. They actually leave tomorrow for it. That is a 32-team LAN in location being?
Virginia Wesleyan, I believe.
That's the school, yes. So, yeah, they've competed in that the last 3 years, or the last 2 years. They're going to have a ton of fun there. But first things first, they got to get past USC Garnett.
Absolutely, yeah. Priorities are right in front of us. But certainly a busy week and a lot going on here. And, I mean, we can take a look as well. We've got some statistics coming into tonight, and it's pretty favoring Shenandoah so far. And as we said, this team has all the momentum in the world coming into tonight. 6-1 in NECC, 20-9 in game records, including a very strong finish to the season with an in-person match against West Virginia Wesleyan and a couple other just very strong looks. And USC Garnett coming in at 4-3, just above the 500 mark, looking to find a big win here tonight against Shenandoah.
Yeah, and something that you can see from these stats is like the game record specifically. Shenandoah likes to go pretty long in their series, like, you know, game 4, game 5, but USC, it's either 3-0 or get 3-0 from, 23 games in 7 series. That only means 2 of them went past 3 games. So they kind of get off the start like running really fast and win the first one and then carry that momentum through, or they lose the first game and they kind of eat themselves up.
23 games in 7 series, that's the kind of math we bring you on for. that was good. Only 2 of them went past 3 games. Good stuff. Well, as we prepare to load into the game, the players are warming up, but we pulled one of them from their warm-up to hear how he's feeling. So we've got Kevin standing by with one of the players on the team. Kevin, take it away.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Chris and Gavin. I am here to talk a little bit about the Shenandoah versus University of South Carolina matchup. And I have to ask, tell me, how you feeling right now?
Feeling good. I cut my finger on Saturday. First day off the splint, so that's always that.
Oh man, a cut finger to start things off. Especially, are you a controller player or are you a keyboard mouse player?
I am a controller player.
Oh no, man. But hey, I mean, if it's working, you've had some nice time to warm up, that's got to be good.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Feels good to get air on the finger, that's for sure. But I've been using a splint all week, so it's kind of like a mix-up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about the matchup that we're seeing so far. Y'all did amazing in the regular season for this, and you've managed to find yourself seated 2nd in this tournament. How are you planning on like riding this sort of momentum, like finding your way through the bracket for this tournament?
Yeah, planning on going in with confidence, but not too much. We've been double scrimming this whole week, just trying to get that momentum ready to come into this game and see how it plays out.
Cool. Now, we have gotten word that this is going to be the University of South Carolina's B team. Are you at all familiar with their players, or is this going to be a little bit of a mix-up, potentially seeing some stuff that you haven't seen before?
This is definitely new to me. I haven't seen them before personally. I'm sure the other boys have, but it's new to me. I know that their A team was on boost and got 4th, I believe. So definitely going to come in not hesitant, but definitely aware of what they might be capable of.
Great stuff here. I won't keep you from getting warmed up. We will hand it back over to Chris and Gavin. So guys, take it away.
Cinematic shot of Mango walking away right as we cut back to the casters. Thank you very much, Kevin and Terry. Good stuff from Pagani there, getting warmed up and sounding pretty confident coming into this bracket, but some serious adversity there. We had a controller break last week, and now this surprises out of this team, but all stuff they're going to have to find a way around.
Yeah, these acts of nature, you just have to figure out a way to overcome them. But yeah, shout out to Boost on the Beach, by the way. That was a LAN that we kind of hosted, and we had a great time there. One of their players, I believe Katz, is one of the coaches for this team, and he played phenomenally at Boost on the Beach. So really excited to see what this team can bring.
Yeah, South Carolina and Shenandoah certainly having some history, albeit maybe not competitive history, as Shenandoah did not compete at Boost, but certainly very hands-on in that event, I like to think. And South Carolina, yeah, very exciting to watch them play, certainly hometown favorites, and that was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, this will be their Garnett roster, not the roster that played at Boost. And we can take a look at the roster you'll be seeing tonight from the Hornets, because we're used to seeing two different lineups come into this team. But tonight, as you just saw, we will have Pagani in the lineup right next to the two mainstays so far, Kiazi and Mango, looking great so far throughout the year and looking to continue to ride this wave into playoffs.
Man, and look at Mango. Like, this guy is like the epitome of someone that you want to play with, maybe play for if he's the captain or coach or whatever it is. He just brings the energy, and he kind of stabilizes the entire team. When he's feeling himself, when he's like feeling really confident, it kind of goes through everyone else in the team like veins. And then when he feels like you guys need to lock in, he really makes everyone else do it. So he's like the staple, I would say.
Absolutely. There's always there's a term for this, and it's sort of like a vibe merchant. Like there needs to be someone on the team that keeps everybody's mentals in place, and I would certainly say that Mango does that on top of many other things. I mean, this is an incredibly talented player, both mechanically and intellectually, right? He's got a great eye for Rocket League, but yeah, when the time comes to be serious, he can absolutely be serious, and he brings the rest of his team up with him, and that's a great thing to see.
Yeah, and something that we'll probably hear because we're out in the arena is him actively screaming. He loves to have these explosions of excitement or, you know, dread or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it'll be with some death slams, however you want to say it, but he brings the energy to this roster, and it's so great to see that we have someone like on this roster specifically for that, because they kind of need it, you know. The other two, they're very independent in themselves. They don't like to you know, be super outlandish or anything. So Mango kind of brings it out of them. So
yeah, they sort of cancel each other out. I mean, for better or for worse, I certainly think for better. But yeah, there is a certain energy around this team, and we talk about it all the time when we're up here. That the vibes kind of are what make this team work. They are the loudest, but in the best way in our arena. For only having 3 people, that's extremely impressive, but they certainly managed to pull it off. And yeah, it does seem to be really spearheaded by Mango sitting in the middle there. He seems to really, I mean, he is the captain of this team, but he seems to do so much more than that for these guys. And you can tell just by being around all 4 of them, that they enjoy his presence, they enjoy his competitive spirit, and his passion for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And something else to note is that Kiazi is in the same line. You know, he gets very, very excited, but he starts off really slow. Like, if you sit next to him and hear him talk or whatever, he's very, very quiet until he's not. Randomly, he just kind of elevates his voice. He gets super into it or whatever it is. So this team is super, super fun to watch, even not on the gameplay itself, just in general. They just have such good vibes about them. They're really vibe connoisseurs or whatever you want to say about it. They're just an awesome team.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning that vibes are awfully quiet as of right now before the game, right? All these players certainly locking in on your screen and just getting ready for what could be a long series. This is still a best of 5, and they will, I believe, turn into best of 7s later on in the playoffs. But this is playoffs, right? Yeah. Playoffs are playoffs, and this is where magical things can happen, and you certainly don't want to overlook any team, even though SU is coming into this as the 2 seed over the USC 7 seed. You hate to get caught up in that type of stuff, because that is exactly the type of thing that can rattle your team if you end up, say, dropping game 1. You go, oh, shoot, you know, we are better than this team. We're seated higher than them. Why is this happening? And before you know it, it all explodes in your face, and USC Garnett's walking away with a massive upset in this bracket. So got to stay cool, and it certainly seems like they are. They're focused on getting a win here today, and we'll see if they can execute.
Yeah, and by the way, for you, Chris, best of 5, and also because our prod is great or whatever, best of 7s starts in semifinals. So after this game, there will be best of 7s from here on out. But going in as the 2 seed, I think it's the scariest position to be in because you know that you are technically not the best on the book, right? And you have to come in and you have to make sure that you can prove that you deserve it, that you're worthy of it. And if you were here yesterday, I talked about this a lot too, but this idea of confidence versus arrogance, you know, and when you're in the 2 seed, you have something to prove, but you're not the best. So you can't be super, super arrogant or confident about it. You still have to show up. You still have to win this first series and then potentially play the 5 seed. So everything is kind of streamlined into this first game. The first game of this series is the most important because you have to get off the ground running.
I think I agree. Yeah, this team in the last multiple series that we've watched them play, both across NECC and NACE, they have been quick out the gate. They've been up early and then maintaining possession and slowing the game down later. But that cannot stop now. As I don't think can afford to really fall behind early because, yeah, you're right. It's positions like these that can end up being the most dangerous for a high-seeded team like SU in this case. So, yeah, it's going to take high speed, confidence. What did you say? Aggression without recklessness.
Yeah, aggression without recklessness.
Yeah,
yep.
that's the type of stuff that makes great teams great, and that's where you find results.
Right, yeah, results. Something that we can talk about with, like, stats-wise is that Shenandoah loves to score a lot. If they get, like, 2 or 3 goals, they're like, all right, time to pile them on. They don't usually stop and, like, play passive and play safe or whatever. They just want to keep racking them on because then they can bring that energy towards the next few games. You know, they definitely have this kind of ball syndrome where if they feel confident, they just take it over and then keep going, keep looking for these really aggressive plays, these really aggressive, like, 3-man attacks or whatever it is. So confidence is the key.
Yeah, and we'll see how Pagani is able to sort of fit into this. I mean, he's played multiple series with this team, but again, it's always a factor that this lineup changes just about every time we see them on broadcast, whether it's Elim or Pagani subbing out, depending on the day of the week or the league they're competing in. There is some volatility to that, and that's something that this team is still very familiar with, but something that they will still have to overcome every time they encounter it. But as you see on your screen, we load into the hype chamber. And what does that mean, Gavin? It means we are close to getting into game here. We're loading into our first series of Rocket League postseason competition against the University of South Carolina Garnett.
Yeah, and something that we have to watch out for, specifically with Pagani, is stress or nervousness, anything related to nerves, because this is playoffs. You know, it is the first round of playoffs. It's not super, super important or whatever, but you still have to win. So there's a lot of pressure on him to see, as he's the kind of the third person that rotates in and out, how he will perform.
Absolutely. So we load into game here, and Mango with an early opportunity to take one to the goal, but bails out early, and now we get to see the formations start to settle in. Kiazi sitting at midfield. And again, what did we see in the last multiple series we watched this SU team play in? It was a lot of Mango aggression, Pagani with assists, and really just activating Mango with Kiazi sitting in the back, maintaining possession, catching clears from the other team. And look at this. I mean, it's been textbook through 30 seconds, and Kiazi with a wide open shot. USC with some blown coverage there, and SU takes an early lead.
Yeah, here we see a 3-man attack. It really loved Mango as the catalyst. He went for the flip and the flip over, and then immediately went to Pagani, who just kind of laid it up for the Kiazi. So they're doing these 3-man attacks to be really, really aggressive. If they miss that ball, that can be catastrophic for them, but they're feeling very confident in themselves.
And that's a huge deal. Again, we talked about how mental can really affect this team's gameplay, and with an early lead like that, about 30 seconds into the game, Kiazi making sure that this team has no opportunity to fall behind just yet. So now, ball makes its way back to midfield, and we may see our first real offensive possession from South Carolina, as Mango able to bounce that one out of any danger, and South Carolina puts together a shot.
Yeah, Chris, and for the first minute there, South Carolina was unable to breathe. It felt like every time the ball fell to Zombie, who tried to make a dribble play, he just was immediately pressured. So the first minute, getting your first shot off has to feel good for them, but they have to be resilient, because now already the ball's back in their third.
Yep, shake some nerves off and settle into the game, as USC does, like we said, finally get to put together a offensive possession. But We said it, not for long, as the ball now bounces back to midfield. Kiazi goes wide, so USC with a bit of a man advantage, but not for long. Pagani able to get that one out of trouble, and Mango gets a nice shot off the touch from Pagani, but comes up empty-handed so far as we resume with the ball back in the corner. Both teams just looking to establish another game plan, as finally USC with a quick play all the way downfield. A nice breakaway here as they tie this game up.
Yeah, Kiazi just was not expecting two people to be on the back wall there. It looked really good for Shenandoah. They had the boost advantage going into it. You know, South Carolina was sitting at like 20 boosts each, but then, you know, just a second player right behind him was ready with that touch, and it was a beautiful pass into the midfield for South Carolina.
Yeah, good stuff. So Shenandoah now forced to respond. A great look there from USC off the breakaway, and now here we go again. Running out of boost is Zombie, but able to get the ball to the center, falling, unable to dunk that one in, so the ball makes its way back to the corner. We approach the halfway point here in game number 1 as USC continues this offensive possession, but Kiazi playing disruptor so far. Pagani with a great demo there, and now Mango with a man advantage and an opportunity. Gets a great play there all the way to the net by himself. Shenandoah strikes again and pulls ahead for the second time here today.
Man, Mango just dunks it on him. That was absolutely beautiful. He kind of won the 50, but also positioned his card down, so it just bounced off the ground. South Carolina was not expecting it. But again, this is what we talked about with Mango, is that he makes these solo plays. You know, he gets the team energized. He's like, okay, if I can do it, everyone else should be able to do it, or they feel like they have the confidence now too. So it was really, really well played by him.
Absolutely. Mango really enabling so much from this squad, but with a 2-minute game still on our hands, South Carolina really still struggling to put together much of an offensive threat, with their one goal really coming off that fast break. So SU still sort of maintaining possession, but now we finally see South Carolina with a bit of an extended effort here. Good block there by Kiazi to buy time for Mango, as now he takes the ball all by himself once again. Yeah,
and again, even with that pressure from South Carolina, they had absolutely zero boost. They are going all out trying to get a goal because they feel pressured. They feel like they have to score here and now, and it's not working. Shenandoah is really good at managing their boost and making sure that they have enough to make every single save. Now it gets in the corner, now things kind of get sketchy.
Yep, 90 seconds now on the clock as the clock is ticking for South Carolina to score again, but last thing you need is Pagani with an opportunity like that, and what a save by the University of South Carolina backline. Two players coming together to make that one happen. What looked like a sure goal from Pagani comes up empty, and now 60 seconds left. Still goals favoring SU, but wow, that one got real scary. And you have to think if that one went in, it might have been the dagger for game 1.
Absolutely, Chris. And that was excellent patience from Zombie. He just sat in the corner and said, okay, Pagani, like, you're air dribbling into me. You have to make it play. And Pagani just wanted to carry it all the way in. It was a really, really close save, but great patience from him. And here we see that Kiazi just unable to get off the wall in time. It was a really quick pass off the corner. Kind of unfortunate timing there. Not much you can really do except read, you know, take the 50-50 if he passes close to the wall or outside.
Yeah, Kiazi caught on the wall close to the ball and facing the wrong direction. It leaves a wide open net for USC. It's now tie game with 40 seconds left, and a very dangerous situation for both teams, as a goal in these next 30 seconds could spell disaster for either side. But you have to think with the offensive possessions that SU's been able to put together, they have been getting significantly more shots. And what did we hear Mango say at Boost on the Beach? But the team with more shots is going to win the game. So SU struggling to put it together now as USC gets a couple good looks there. Clock now ticking to 10, and they look to take it the other direction. 5 seconds left on the clock, and probably one more opportunity for SU to strike, but no one will be there. The clock's hit 0, and now we load into overtime in our first game of playoffs.
Yeah, first game of playoffs. Now the nerves really set in. It's like, oh man, we got one goal for the rest of our lives. One goal for this one game. Kind of what sets off the rest of the series here. So now we have to see what happens. Kiazi unfortunately gets beat there, but Mango's right there to back him up. Is able to get into center field, which was really tight, but Pagani there with the save. Kiazi kind of back passed it. Pagani was not ready for it, unfortunately, but here we go with the attack from Kiazi. So close.
Yeah, Kiazi just a little wide on that one. A very tight window to make that play, and SU just comes up short. So now USC on the back end trying to put it together, but still, I mean, we just haven't seen as much coordinated team effort on the SC side like we've seen from SU, and it's leaving them in these awkward situations where they can't stuff the ball in. So now SU once again back on the offensive front, looking to see what they can find. Kiazi floating from midfield and nobody home. Oh, the ball goes off the crossbar. A tough break, but another great angle. And Mango puts it in all the way from the corner, stealing game one in overtime as the team gets to take a breather and settle into this series.
So that's what we call a demon angle. That was wow. Absolutely crazy. You know, you think that the shot off the crossbar, it's like, all right, it's time to reset now, but Mango's like, okay, no, I'm not going to reset yet. Like, we have to score here. We have to score now. And he kind of just did it himself. Exactly what you expect out of a captain there.
Exactly. Great showing from Mango and the rest of the squad. And I love to see Mango immediately. We cut to the camera of the team and look to the teammates and say, all right, like, that was closer than it should have been. Like, we win, that's cool, but hey, immediately, here's what we need to change. Here's what needs to be improved as we load into our next game. So, good stuff, good leadership from the veteran Mango on the top of your screen after putting in an awesome shot there to seal game one.
Yeah, I mean, basically all that he needs to say is just tighten up, you know. We're making a lot of aggressive plays, and they're kind of working out, but the last touch is usually the one that's faltering them. And USC is having no boost. And most of that game, they were sitting at like 30 boosts on the attack, so they're trying to be really aggressive, trying to, you know, get a fast one, make sure that SU is not ready for it, but it's not working. So now you just have to connect your passes, and you have to connect the play when they have no boost and just score the goal in the end.
Well, adaptations are the name of, this is the name of the game for long series like this. So, as we load into game number 2 here, can SC find the answer? That was a very, very close game, going blow for blow all the way down the stretch, but that one coming up SU's favor. So, I mean, what does need to change if you're USC, right? I feel like it needs to be more of these coordinated efforts that we're seeing out of Shenandoah and less individual hero plays.
Right, yeah, they keep trying to make these hero plays because nobody is sitting on any boost. Right now we see that Zombie's the only one with boost, so he has to go for that miracle dribble. Unfortunately, it was not able to land, but again, look at the side of your screen. All of them are sitting at 0. They just have nothing to do with it. They have to play as a team. They have to make sure that they're all coordinated on these attacks, and it's just not happening right now. As we see Kiazi go up for it, maybe he can get a flick off. No, the ball bounces too high.
Yep, tough break for Kiazi, but not a big deal as the ball finds its way all the way in the wide open arms of Mango. Great team play. What did we say? Another great lob from Pagani off the backboard, too. Doesn't get much better than that, and that's exactly what you need to be afraid of when playing this Shenandoah squad. Those two players in particular really enable each other.
Right, yeah, that was a beautiful pass by Pagani. It looked like it was going high, maybe bounce off the middle of the backboard, but it just bounced right off the bottom, and Mango was able to dunk it in. Really, really good timing there from him. But now we see that USC is kind of making a play, but Fallen has no boost.
Yeah, no boost means no results, so SU with only a minute passing in this game. Another quick strike from the Hornets, but we'll see if they're able to maintain their lead this time like we saw all of last week, right? We saw them pull ahead early and really never lose control of the game. So SC already breaking that habit so far for SU, but still coming up without a game win as Walker gets a shot on goal there, and Mango with a good save.
Man, the speed on Falling there in the aerial to get up to Mango was absolutely incredible. Mango looked like he was about to make a pretty fancy play, but Falling was just able to elevate off the ground so fast here. But unfortunately there he misses, and Mango has a shot opportunity, but it does get blocked. Yeah,
blocked shot and a wide open window. Mango just a smidge too late, as I'm sure nobody was really expecting that window to be there, but SU now taking the ball all the way around their net, and again, just controlling the pace of the game so far as we boom the ball all the way up to the backboard. Mango not there to catch it this time around. Kiazi does get a shot, but Zombie's quick to defend. So, ball again dangerously crossing from one side to the other. Mango with another great save across the field. always home, always ready for that long ball, and now Pagani takes it to the corner. Kiazi's going to get a look, but well defended by Zombie, so more offensive pressure, non-stop, relentless pressure from Shenandoah so far.
Yeah, we're seeing two very differing play styles here from these two teams. Shenandoah is going for much more aggressive 2- or 3-man plays, so they have to make these really stylish and really close saves like the one that we saw from Mango inside the net. They have to keep making those saves because the ball is coming so fast and they're on the reset, so they have to get boost and then get back. While South Carolina is going for these very slow plays. They're trying to regain possession on the corner of the wall here we see with Falling, and then make a 3-man play, but it's just not able to connect because the aggression from Mango and Pagani is too much for them to overcome.
Yeah, every time it feels like University of South Carolina has an opportunity to take the ball down the field, it is quickly stolen from them at about midfield, and again, that's been the strategy for this Shenandoah squad for a while now. They rarely let the ball cross midfield in the wrong direction for them, as Walker gets a look there, but Pagani able to get out of that situation, but not for long. Falling with a good shot, goes a little high, and nobody there to get another look. So SU on their heels right now, but still with a 1-goal lead and now 90 seconds left in the game. An advantage that they'll have to hold on to, but now Kiazi gets a look and catches the top of the net. 2-goal lead, the first multiple score lead for either team so far this series, and it's with 90 seconds left in game 2.
Yeah, that was a bit of a desperation play from Fallen there. He just says, I cannot let them regain possession. I don't know where their third person is, so they send it midfield, which is a little unfortunate because Kiazi was right there. But again, that's that 3-pronged attack from them. They're going at all angles. They're saying, okay, if you contest me here, I can pass it to the midfield or I can pass it straight to the back corner and then look for a play from there. There's just nothing for South Carolina to do on the defensive approach other than win the 50-50s.
Yeah, big defensive commit there from SU, but it ends up paying off as now Pagani takes it to the net and leaves it in the middle. Kiazi not able to get there, had 2 guys on him, but another shot right at the corner. Mango gets a look, but I don't think that would have gone in anyway. So Kiazi looking to contest the aerial game from SC as now they look for any type of desperation play they can put together. Falling, going up high, looking to find anything, literally anything for SC, but it's just not working out for him as Shenandoah continues to just strangle the clock from this point on.
Man, it's just so aggressive from Shenandoah here. It seems like every single time one of them touches the ball, the other two are right there as well. As we see the ball get in the middle of the net, but Zombie is able to dribble it out, maybe get a fake into a play. Falling is unable to touch. Otherwise, that probably was a goal there if he was able to get the touch off on the top. But again, this 3-pronged attack, this whole aggression is just unrelenting. They're up 2 goals and they're still going for it. As we see Mango almost get a goal there, but Zombie had a great save.
Yeah, and it just feels like the game slows down when SC is on offense. They get these breaks, they get these looks, but they're not able to put it all together as the clock hits zeros, but no hope left for USC as now Shenandoah pulls up 2-0 and puts the University of South Carolina's Garnett roster with their backs against the walls facing elimination.
Yeah, backs against the wall. Now you have the stress set in. Now it's like, okay, I don't want to end my season now. We know you just got into playoffs or whatever. But something I want to point out in that game was shout out to Pagani because it looks like he's exhibiting so much confidence. He's going for these really aggressive 50-50s and he's going for these aggressive saves, knowing that he can trust his team if it misses. And it's able for them to catalyze these huge attacks that lead to these goals. And it all stems from him making these kind of, not necessarily hero plays, but these risky plays. And he just trusts Mango and Kiazi to follow it up.
Hey, what did we say before the series even started? Aggression without recklessness. And that's exactly what we're seeing from this Shenandoah squad. The aggression is smart, and it's paying off for them. As, yeah, you said it, Pagani has really put on a show so far. All 3 players looking great out there as Game 2 now goes even more in favor of SU than Game 1. And now if you're South Carolina, you really got to dig deep to find an answer because you are running out of time.
Yeah, now the beauty of this, opposed to Tekken, is that you have a minute to reset. So now we get a minute to mentally reset. Maybe they can do some meditating, whatever they need to lock back in. But now is the time where they have to figure out this 3-pronged attack, or how are they going to go for these attacks. If they just want to go for 1 or 2 passing plays into a goal or into a shot, that's completely fine, but you have to come up with something. Right now, every single attack that they are making, they're on 20 or 30 boosts. Usually it's falling with 100, which is kind of the opposite of his name because, you know, you expect him to be on the ground, but I swear I've seen him in the air the most out of every single player on this team. So you just have to kind of figure it out. You know, you have to come up with a way to have these successes, have some shots on goal because there's not a lot of them coming out yet.
Right. I was sort of starting to say it at the end of game 2 there. It feels like every time the University of South Carolina gets these looks on the goal, they run out of boost. They're falling just short, literally right in front of the goal, and then all momentum is killed, all speed, all threat evaporates, and SU is able to get there every time. So yeah, I think some serious changes are going to have to come in here, as I've been told we're having some technical difficulties, but it shouldn't be too long, so that is why you are seeing an extended break, but we will be getting into game 3 here just about any second.
Yeah, and if you're curious about what exactly I'm talking about with this boost management, is that every single time when USC ends an offensive attack, when there is a save from Shenandoah or whatever, you can look in the top right and look at boost, and I guarantee you every single time it's at 0-0-20. And that is not ideal because your rotation's back. You have to have at least like 35 boosts to get to the big boost pad and then rotate back. If you don't have that, Shenandoah is able to set up these plays. You know, they're able to set up their passing plays or whatever they want to do in that moment. So you have to manage your boost optimally. I feel like South Carolina is not quite doing that yet.
All right, I hesitate to call it desperation for South Carolina, but certainly a tense situation as we load into game 3 here, facing elimination. Can USC Garnett put it together now and for 3 games straight, or will SU finish the job here as Zombie gets a nice look there from his own touch. Walker with another on the follow-up, but great defense from SU so far. That shot goes high, and now SU with an opportunity to take it the other direction. Boost in favor of USC for sure, so not much threat just yet, but Kiazi with a great touch there to keep it on the right side of the field, as now SU with boost gets a look. Pagani takes it himself. Mango can't get a look from that angle, so ball makes its way back to midfield, and we are now a minute into game number 3 without a goal for the first time this series.
Yeah, we've seen Shenandoah, they appear to be showing some cracks right now. They double committed 2 or 3 times on the save, and that's not obviously ideal, but they just want to make sure that they don't give up the first goal. You know, they're very momentum-based. If they give up the first goal, maybe they start to doubt themselves or whatever it is, but we see Pagani kind of go up. Walker does a fantastic time contesting, but who can get the second touch? Does not look to be Mango, even though he really wanted it there.
Certainly wanted it, always wants to be the one to make the play, but that's that leadership. We know he doesn't always need to be the one to make the plays. Pagani tries to clear it out of the corner. Mango looking to finish the job. The ball makes its way back to midfield. Yeah,
no hero plays necessary yet. You just have to play as a team right now. We see USC, all 3 members are in center field right now. So a lot of potential for Shenandoah to get the ball and make a possession here as we see Kiazi go up, but he is contested. Pagani's going to back pass it to Mango and try and lead it forward, but it comes out with a really scary clink of a shot on the crossbar. Kind of unfortunate for USC, but Shenandoah gets a lucky break.
It's the worst noise in Rocket League, that crossbar clink. the stuff of nightmares for every Rocket League player, I'm sure, as USC comes up just short in what felt like a great opportunity to pull ahead for the first time this series. We have yet to see USC pull ahead at any point. They've kept the pressure on for sure, but again, another crossbar. Tink making another one. The ball dancing in front of the goal, and Mango finally able to finish the job.
Man, that was beautifully played by Kiazi there, especially. He really was trying to carry the ball into Pagani, but it just unfortunately kind of dribbled out at the last moment. But Mango, obviously, as being the captain, was in the perfect spot for it. That was a really aggressive attack from them. They were committing all 3 members into the goal. If they missed that, there's absolutely no response, but they're feeling very confident in themselves. They knew that they could get that goal as close as it looked.
Yep, and they have reason for this confidence. 2 minutes away from winning their first playoff series this year. So good looks from the Hornets, but job's not finished. They do still need to close this game out as Mango takes it on the ceiling and has a look, puts it right on the head, and South Carolina falls down 2. Mango making sure that they have no room to work with.
Man, it looked like, and I feel like South Carolina also thought that maybe that was a potential flip reset, but Mango just came out with all of the speed there and just completely dunked it on them. Absolutely no potential to respond there because of the angle that it went at. They were clearly expecting some sort of flip reset play instead. But Mango really feeling confident now. We saw on the cameras. Now he's like, okay, we can take this over. Time to lay it on them.
Yeah, this is where that energy matters. This is where the team that thrives off energy gets to showcase what that means. Up 2-0, 90 seconds left in the game, and SU only needs to choke this one out. But with looks like that, USC strikes back for the first time since game 1, getting on the board when they need it most.
Yeah, Mango looked to be a little scared there because Zombie was on the top of the roof waiting for, a potential pass. He did not want the ball to get spiked immediately down into a shot, so instead he let it drop, but unfortunately just got away from him, and South Carolina was able to make kind of a really quick shot there that Shenandoah wasn't expecting. So now just have to add one more, and then it's a tie game for them.
Yeah, speaks to the quality of these teams. Very good heads-up play from South Carolina and able to capitalize and find pay dirt, again, for the first time since game 1. I mean, it feels like forever since we've seen South Carolina get that goal, but again, when they need it most, they were able to find it. So with 60 seconds left now, certainly need it now more than ever. Zombie hits it into the corner, but cannot find much more as USC does get another look. Falling, able to take it from the corner all the way into the net. Nobody home for SU, and now we do have a tie game on our hands.
Yeah, just an unfortunate shot, or unfortunate touch from Kiyoshi. He didn't expect someone to be right behind the USC player there, so he kind of hit it straight down, and right there was a shot waiting. But as we talked about boosts, now Shenandoah's kind of on the back foot there. They were on defense the entire time, seeing like 20 to 40 boosts, not nearly enough to make any sort of contestant or any sort of play. So unfortunate position to be in, but now you have to bounce back. You were up 2-0, now you're tied. Still a tie game, 35 seconds left. Mango goes up, does not get a good touch. Unfortunately, kind of a sour spot there. But now, there's 30 seconds left. Time to make a hero play.
Oh, right over the head of Falling, but just a little wide. That was a dangerous look. But 20 seconds left now in the game. Historically, we've seen Shenandoah be able to score in these types of situations, but the only time we've seen SU in this situation today, game went to overtime. It ended up being a very tight matchup, and now as we clock ticks below 5 seconds, Falling gets one more look, and Walker looks to put it in. The ball hits the ground, and we take a sigh of relief as the clock stays at 0 and we load back into overtime.
Man, Shenandoah got so lucky there. We had a bit of an unfortunate touch from Mango, but here we see Walker not able to get it. Mango able to redeem himself. But that touch was just right into the middle of the field and no one was able to there. But Mango just kind of carries it forward and just says, I'm going to put the team on my back. I'm just going to do it myself, end this game here and now.
How about it? A big offensive commit from USC means Mango takes it the length of the field and puts it in himself. Team play was the name of the game in game 1 and arguably game 2, but individual performance, Mango putting on a show in game 3 to secure their first playoff series win in NECC.
And shout out Kiyoshi there. It looked like, I'm not 100% sure, maybe Prod can correct it, but it looked like Kiyoshi was trying to steal that goal at the end. It looked like it was 2 on an empty net, and Kiyoshi was just coming forward and said, I want the goal, man. So, they always have that internal competition between themselves. They're always having a great time. It's good to see.
There's the vibes. All right, we see the pop-off from the boys as they get to celebrate their first playoff win. Good stuff from them and carry this momentum into the rest of this bracket and their in-person tournament that we mentioned earlier this show. So a lot still coming up for this team, but good looks today as a step 1.
Yes, that Collision of the Coast is the land title. They have about a 5-hour drive to make tomorrow. They're going to compete for a long time. 32-team bracket. Now you just hopefully bring that confidence into it, maybe get some success at that land as well. But speaking on this, Pagani, did not really pop off nearly as much. He's trying to remain cool. He knows job's not done yet. They still have 2 more games at least. So they just have to relax themselves. Next week going forward, they have to continue momentum, continue what they've been doing so well.
Absolutely. You love to see the energy high for this team, but there is something to be said for the guy that can keep a level head and say, job's not finished, because that's the type of mentality that can win you championships. But nonetheless, step one is behind them for the Shenandoah University Hornets, right? This was a big moment, a big test for the team. Can you go out there and take care of business when it's expected of you? And SU left no doubt, I would say.
Yeah, as you're the number 2 seed versus number 7, you're expected to 3-0. You're not expected to do it like super like aggressively or, get like 8 goals or whatever, but you are not expected to drop a game. So keeping up with the expectations is really good for their confidence. They feel like they belong here. They feel like they can make a run, like why not us? So really, really good to see from them.
Yeah, good mental boost for the team, and congratulations to the University of South Carolina Garnett roster for making it this far. Playoffs is certainly something to be proud of, but unfortunately I believe that will do it for their NECC season at least, but good luck to them in any future endeavors. But enough about them. We do want to hear from the team that we got to listen to and watch come away with a very strong victory. We've got Kevin standing by with another one of the players from the squad. Kevin, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Chris and Gavin. I'm joined by Mango. Tell me, how are you feeling after that win?
I mean, it's always good to get a win, First playoff match of the season. Feels good to get away with the win. Got the 3-0. Kind of some close calls there. Definitely could have played better, at the end of the day, we came away with the win. That's all that matters.
We could see in the back of house just how serious y'all were taking the match at a lot of times throughout it, but there was one moment where you hit an amazing shot off the top and just carry it straight into the goal, and you let out a real nice yell, get it all flowing. Tell me, what's kind of running through your head in moments like that?
Well, based off my positioning, I knew I could do something special on the ball, as I always do myself. You know me. But I knew I could do something, and, when you hit a really good shot like that, especially in like a Game 2 or a Game 3, it really gets the people motivated, and I'm a naturally loud person. I'm an energetic person. So when I hit a good shot, especially in a Game 2, Game 3, when it carries our momentum even higher, I'm going to say, I'm going to get loud, so pump up the boys,
Great stuff. I also have to ask, you are still in the playoffs now. Are you still feeling good going through the rest of the bracket? You are seeded second, so you do have a pretty nice route through it, but are there any other opponents that you're either looking forward to or maybe a little bit worried about going forward?
I think our next matchup, I'm not sure who we play. We're either going to play Waynesburg again or a team from the East A Division. I think we could definitely walk away with a win from both of those. The team that I'm probably most excited to play is Stevenson's A team, because we've gotten pretty close with their B team. There's some cool guys over there. Shout out them. But their A team, I want to put up a good fight against them.
Oh, you heard it here. Shenandoah wants the run, and we are going to make it, which means that we get to see even more Rocket League action going forward. I believe Chris and Gavin will take it away to close things out, but be sure to drop a follow so you can keep up with this legendary run. Guys, take it away.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Kevin. Well done. Yeah, good stuff from both Kevin and Mango. Certainly sounds confident, and it's exciting to hear that going into future series, as we received word that they will face off against Emory-Riddle in their next matchup. So good luck to them, but yeah, heck of a lot of momentum for this team right now.
Yeah, a heck of a lot of momentum indeed. Now, again, don't get too confident. Don't get too arrogant. Job's not finished yet. Continue the double scrims. Continue doing everything that you are doing up until this point, because you have at least one more game before you can meet up to Stevenson's A, and that will be an electric game if we can get that far, Chris.
Absolutely. So with that, hopefully down the line for the team, still task at hand. It could not be more important, but with this task behind us, that will do it for us here at the Shenandoah University Esports Arena here. Thank you so much for watching. Like Kevin said, be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching on right now so you don't miss out on any of our esports action going forward. We will not have a matchup tomorrow, as you saw on the schedule, but keep an eye out next week as our teams continue to advance, hopefully further and further into their playoff brackets. I'm Chris Clayton. This is Gavin Eldridge. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Victory over Concord. So that brings us to today, Thursday, March 27th, and Varsity Rocket League taking on USC Garnett. High expectations, ton of momentum for this team as we take a look at this bracket. There's that matchup right in the middle there, Shenandoah against USC.
A-team was on boost and got fourth, I believe. So definitely going to come in not hesitant, but definitely aware of what they might be capable of.
And what does that mean, Gavin? It means we are close to getting into game here. We're loading into our first series of Rocket League postseason competition against the University of South Carolina Garnet. Back, maintaining possession, catching clears from the other team, and look at this. I mean, it's been textbook through 30 seconds, and Kiazi with a wide open shot with the ball back in the corner. Both teams just looking to establish another game plan. It's finally USC with a quick play all the way down, laying disruptor so far. Pagani with a great demo there, and now Mango with a man advantage and an opportunity gets a great play there all the way to the net by himself. Carolina to score again, but last thing you need is Pagani with an opportunity like that, and what a save by the University of South Carolina.
Play. And Pagani just wanted to carry it all the way in. It was a really, really close save, but great patience from him. And here we see that Kiazi just unable to get off the wall.
But the team with more shots is going to win the game. So SU struggling to put it together now as USC gets a couple good looks there. The clock's hit 0, and now we load into overtime and loading from midfield, and nobody home. Oh, the ball goes off the crossbar. A tough break, but another great angle, and Mango puts it in all the way from the corner, stealing game 1 in overtime as the team gets to take a breather and settle into this series.
We're here, we have to score now, and he kind of just did it himself. Exactly what you expect out of a captain.
Adaptations are the name of, this is the name of the game for long series like this. Yep, tough break for Kiazi, but not a big deal as the ball finds its way all the way in the wide open arms of Mango. 1 goal lead, and now 90 seconds left in the game. An advantage that they'll have to hold on to. Now Kiazi gets a look and catches the top of the net. Hits zeros, but no hope left for USC as now Shenandoah pulls up 2-0 and puts the University of South Carolina's Garnet roster with their backs against the walls, facing elimination.
Yeah, aggressive save, knowing that he can trust his team if it misses, and it's able for them.
You really got to dig deep to find an answer because you are running out of time. Certainly a tense situation as we load into game 3 here. USC pull ahead at any point. They've kept the pressure on for sure, but again, another crossbar tink. Making another one, the ball dancing in front of the goal, and Mango finally able to finish the job from the Hornets, but job's not finished. They do still need to close this game out as Mango takes it on the ceiling and has a look, puts it right on the head. What that means, up 2-0, 90 seconds left in the game, and SU only needs to choke this one out, but with looks like that, certainly need it now more than ever. Zombie hits it into the corner, but cannot find much more as USC does get another look. Low 5 seconds, Falling gets one more look, and Walker looks to put it in. The ball hits the ground, and we take a sigh of relief.
Mango, but here we see Walker not able to get it. Mango able to redeem himself. But that touch was just right into the middle of the field, and no one was able to. But Mango just kind of carries it forward and just an empty net, and Guzzi was just coming for it. So I want the goal, man. So, you know, they always have that internal competition between themselves. You know, they're always having a great time. It's good to see.
Their step one is behind them for the Shenandoah University Hornets, right?
Alrighty, thank you so much, Chris and Gavin. I'm joined by Mango. Tell me, how are you feeling after that win?
I mean, it's always good to get a win, you know. First playoff match of the season. Feels good to get away with the win. Got the 3-0. Kind of some close calls there. Definitely could have played better, but, and I mean, at the end of the day, we came away with the win. That's all that matters. Well, based off my positioning, I knew I could do something special on the ball, as I always do myself. You know me. But I knew I could do something, and both of those, the team that I'm probably most excited to play is Stevenson's A team, because we've got...
Tell a friend something nice. It might just change their life, and we will see you next time.